I was just talking about Create, right? Create knows it's Alex, all the people at Create. Bro, before Create had a warehouse, you know where I met the CEO, founder, at 28, 20 people at Create? Bro, before Create had a warehouse, you know where I met the CEO, founder in 2017, 2018, you know where I met the creator of Create Music Group? You know where I met him at?
Where?
At a hot dog stand. That nigga has 100 million, 500 million plus right now. Built. Like I said, bro, niggas were like, who the fuck is this nigga? I talk facts, bro. I text this nigga this. I say, yo, bro, call my phone, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even calling him out. You know, I haven't collect publishing since 2023. It's 2025. We're about to be in 2026 in 3 months. But anyway, long story short. So that's how I met Trippy.
Okay, so you and Trippy do Polls 1469.
Yeah.
And I remember that's when you hit my radar. Because it was like, oh, who's this kid with the multicolored hair? And Trippy is like a new artist as well. You guys do OE?
OE, yeah.
OE. After that. And I feel like you guys, like, in your bag, like, it almost felt like the next wave of music. You know, with the face tattoos and the crazy hair and everything else like that. So you guys both get on the radar with these 2 big songs. And it seems like things are going great for everybody. But then at one point, Trippy Red disses you. I think he goes on Twitter, calls you a pedophile, and said that we're no longer working together.
I'm sorry, brother. 1400 don't promote pedophiles.
How did that feel? Because that was,
So
at that point... Hold on. I just want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Because, to be fair, that was the biggest success you've had in your life at that point, right? Am I right?
I'm gonna kill him right now. I'm literally, you just set him up for a headshot.
Let's go.
Like I said, I talk nothing but facts. 6ix9ine talks nothing but the truth. How I said I met Trippy Red? His label owner requested to meet me. Am I changing anything?
No.
Everything's staying the same, right? I shot Pose 1469. I edited 1469 same day. When I put it out, his label owner said, listen, I want to meet with this 6ix9ine Danny kid. 888 Wilshire. When he sees that remember, that's early 2017. I signed with Elliot July, August 2017. When he sees, yo, this kid is gaining traction, this kid is his thing, I'm the face of the label. Trippy Red was the first signee to Elliot Grange.
Okay, so did you sign to Elliot Grange by this point?
July, August 2017. Trippy's been signed to Elliot Grange. I don't know his deal.
Okay, now I got it.
He's signed before.
Right, so you guys are both on the same label.
So these is facts, same label. Elliot's first artist signed, maybe some rock and roll nigga from, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But me and Trippy was first, 6ix9ine was second.
Yeah.
Right? You seen the jealousy coming. You don't gotta say it, the jealousy is loud. It's loud. Trippy got jealous. Why else come at me? We was friends. Why else? You tell me.
Well, not only were you friends, but you guys had commercial success.
Commercial success. So why hate on me?
Yeah, I don't get it.
You don't get it? I don't either.
Huh.
Out of nowhere, he just called me a pedophile. But like I said, people ran with it because they were like, yo, this Mexican nigga with rainbow hair, he's growing too fast. He's shock value to the 10th power. How else can we hate on him? Remember when we was talking about the minor stuff? How people just hate facts? People don't like facts. When a little kid say, you talking to a little kid, and a little kid say, yo, your breath stink, what you like, damn, like my shit hot, right?
Yeah.
People's habitat is they do not like facts. They don't like the truth. They run from the truth. So let's go back to it. Trippy just started hating, jealousy, like I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like I do nothing to him. Remember I made the video in the car, I said, yo, why you hating on me? We on the same label.
Yeah, no, I remember that video. It seemed like you were just shocked more than anything else.
You want me to play it for you? You want me to play it for you?
Yeah, I remember. We'll play it.
But you know what I'm saying, bro? It's mad corny. I already told you this shit, bro. You just keep doing it, bro. I don't know why you hate on me so much, bro. You lit, bro. You know what I mean? Your music is lit, bro. We signed to the same label. You still hate on me. You try to throw dirt on my name. You try to tell people not to work with me, bro. Man, bro, that's mad corny, bro. Nobody try to blackmail you, bro. Like, you act like a real female, bro.
I was eating food in the car. Said, damn, bro, I don't know why you hating on me, bro. Like, yo, bro, you know my career after 1469, ooh wee. That shit was just a headshot. Boom. I couldn't get up. You know what they say cure cancer? You know the music term? They say a hit cures cancer.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Gummo came out September, October. Y'all came up with the date, right? September, October 2017. Bro, if Gummo never... And you know Gummo's a Trippie Red diss, right?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
KB was his enforcer. KB was his shotty.
Okay.
No KB, you will lose a nigga up this Uzi nigga. Remember how they used to call him the fake Lil Uzi?
Aha. Okay. Well, okay. You guys started talking shit about each other.
No, come on. You see how this false
Well,
narrative?
okay, well, hold on. He takes a shot at you.
Yeah,
You respond.
Yeah, because when you
surprised.
say it like that, it
okay,
fuck-
no, fair enough.
Yeah.
He takes a shot at you, calls you a pedophile. You respond confused.
Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But then at one point, Trippie Red gets beat up in a New York hotel lobby,
Yeah.
right? And he blames you and your crew for it.
Nah, that was us. That was us. The people who beat up Trippie, that was us.
That was y'all.
Yeah, that was us.
So tell me about it. Were you actually there when it happened?
Yes, I was there. I was on
Can
the
you
corner.
describe what happens?
Yeah.
go.
I pled guilty to it.
Okay, so let's go.
So let's give the fans what. So like I said, I pled guilty to the shit. The nigga has a music video. I get the call. The nigga's here. I said, I bet I'm on my way. I think I explained the story on another, I think on Breakfast Club. Anyway, long story short, I follow a nigga. He in a big ass sprinter. I follow a nigga. When I follow the nigga, he stops in front of his hotel. Niggas jump out. 50 niggas looking around like, what's up? So niggas like, yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Niggas piece niggas up. Yo, what's poppin'? All his mans like, yo, you know, they fake bloods from wherever the fuck they at. When a nigga see Trippie, remember, Trippie's in the midst of, yo, there's cameras to this shit. Trippie's in the midst of 30 people. It's 4 of us. It's 4 of us. Trippie's in the midst of 30 people. Remember, I pled guilty to this shit. This shit was set in court. Niggas rocked Trippie's grills out his mouth like his grills flew 10 feet in the air. Word to my mom, his grills, that nigga went through the revolving doors. He came in spinning and left spinning. I'm dead serious. You ever seen a cartoon like Tom and Jerry, like when they spin a nigga in Taz, like that? Nigga did the Taz. Nigga, that's why I like that nigga did the Taz. Niggas knocked his grills out his mouth. You ever take grills out and the spit come out? That's how shit, give me that, nigga. And his brother Lucky was at the elevator tapping that shit like, no, I catch seizures. Word two, niggas rocked them, bro, like that. And like I said, like, people don't like me because it's facts. Cool, now we're gonna say, look, there you go snitching at. These is facts, niggas knocked his teeth out his mouth.
Right, and I think he went on Instagram.
These is, people don't like me because it's facts. Cool, now we're gonna say, look, there you go snitching at. These is facts, niggas knocked his teeth out his mouth.
Right, and I think he went on Instagram Live and basically said the same thing.
You want me to show you live?
I'll get into the hotel. It's a talk about, I'm not Trey, blah, blah, blah. So I go to that nigga up, and it's a next to him, bro. And it stole on me and hit me in my mouth. Because this is the only thing that happened to Trippie Red, bro. The nigga hit me one time, bro. And then my niggas beat their ass, nigga.
Yo, nigga just punched me in my mouth. Nigga just hit me. Fuck 6ix9ine. That's it, bro. Come on. Like, it's facts. Everything I say is facts. Oh, yeah, there you go. Troops. Like, it's facts. Niggas will rock you in your mouth, nigga. Tell niggas we pop out. You know what I'm saying? Stop snitching. Why you snitching for? Didn't do nothing to you. You wanna snitch, you heard? Snitching. They hit me.
At this point, you guys start going back and forth. You accused him of having sex with Bad Baby, who was a minor at the time.
Everybody listen, apart Trippie Red, there you go telling the truth again, there you go snitching. All these rappers fuck bad baby while she was underage. Come on, next thing. And she knows that they know it. But you know what? No, we like them. They can fuck kids. They can fuck kids. Just don't say, bro, chill. Bro, why you always got open your mouth, bro? These niggas be fucking kids, bro. Didn't I upload the picture of him laying on the chest, underage? You want me to show it to you?
I believe you.
All right, come on. Next question. Let's go. I'm not gonna shit. I'm walking it down. That's what I do.
Producers, this plugin helps you work faster and create sounds that no one else is making. So I pulled up this track, and I want to add a sound to this section. And I found this synth ARP that's pretty cool. Let's hit reimagine to generate some more ideas. It's cool because you can generate as many ideas as you want. There's basically infinite options. Every flip is unique, completely yours, and copyright safe. I like this one, so I'm gonna drag it in. So Reimagine pulls from Output's sample library and uses ethically trained AI to generate more samples for you. You get unlimited access, no credits, and no limits to hold you back. Let's use Reimagine on another section of the song.
Listen, don't what's up me, just yes.
Yes, sir.
Everything yes, man. So we ain't gonna make this no 2-hour show. We ain't gonna make this long pause. We just gonna address some of the things that Sim wanted to ask me about, some of the things that happened this week. And if my man Larry got something to say as well, he will chime in as well. But first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Revolt. Shout out to all the fans that have been tuning in. I can't thank y'all enough, my niggas and my niggas and my Caucasians and everybody else in between, man. Shit been going out the sky. And I'm glad I could give y'all some great content. Also, shout out to them. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you go and check out the Killer Countdown. It's been some really, really, really good battles on there. We're still in the first round.
Send me the trailer, Gio.
Second round yet. But make sure you go to the Talk with Flea Instagram page, and I'm pretty sure Revolt has it on their YouTube channel as well. But go look at all the battles that's been going on, and we'll keep you updated as well on here. Sim, what's good, baby? What we doing?
Shit, talking about the Breakfast Club. What else is there to talk about, man? So
Let me ask you a question real quick, because I don't know. Did the nigga the next day get donkey of the day? I think he got donkey of the day. The next day, I think after he left the next day, he was donkey of the day on the break. Shout out to Charlamagne.
Charlamagne, I love Charlamagne.
Yeah, big shout out to Charlamagne. Because they was hashtagging Dep Dash and Dep Jam.
So Dep.
This is embarrassing, man.
Yeah, and listen, and to be honest with you, I really have second opinion embarrassment. I said it on the show the other day. It don't even feel good going back and forth a day and pause. But like I said on the show the other day, to me, and I'm be totally honest with you, I'm glad he did this because it felt like he had all this built up for years that he wanted to do this. So instead of a nigga holding all that in, pause, I'd rather a nigga get it off his chest how you really been feeling anyway. So I think it's good for him. I think the internet nowadays is therapy for him. And he turned into the chatty patty that he told everybody else not to be. But if it's therapy for you, cool, because Dame usually sees a therapist. Like right now, and I'm not being funny or nothing, he probably can't afford to go to therapy right now. So this is probably good for him because he needs therapy. And he'll tell you that. He told me that before. Even when I was young, he'd be like, yo, Cam, see a therapist, man. That shit's fly shit. I've never seen one, but anything it's fly shit. He told me, yo, watch me make having diabetes hot. I don't want to hear niggas talking about they got diabetes. Anything Dame do or has is hot. But guys, let's start, baby.
But before I get to the Breakfast Club, I know you addressed it kind of before, but do you feel a little bit more, sorry for the way he's coming out now? He's really expressing the fact that you broke the group up. And like I said, I know we talked about it before, but do you feel a little bit more sorry for what you did?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because the thing about it is this, it's like this. All right, so let's get to that, right? Bro, you have 100 different reasons why Rockefeller broke up. You told me Jay didn't want to pay Biggs no more. You go downstairs and you scream and yell at Kevin Liles and Julie Greenwald and Leo Cohen. You make the movie Death of a Dynasty while the dynasty is still going on. Did I play a part in it? And not saying on purpose, because he's like, I think you did on purpose. Why the fuck would I do it on purpose? I just had a platinum album. I just had a great artist, Jewels, get signed. You just signed my label. Why would I want to break it up? This shit sounds stupid. Now, maybe I did jump the gun and say I was going to be the president, but me and Bleak, we giggled and joked about it because maybe we're doing other things with our life and we're still not thinking about that. And we moved on. And I thought they moved on too. See, that's what I realized too doing this, up here doing the podcast and talking, is that some people are over some things and some people will never get over other things. And sometimes when I have these conversations with people, I'll ask a question or I'll make a statement saying, oh, that nigga ain't worried about it. That was 20 years ago. Now they still worried about it. So I'll pick and choose what I say on these podcasts more carefully. Doubt it. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So no, I don't feel bad because I moved on and did other things. If you ask Dame, he's doing a million other things. Dame's attitude is, and I always believe in Dame. See, that's the one thing too, son, is that even when my son asks me about like, yo, what's going on with your name? And he's like, he feel I don't look out for him. He feel I don't do this. And my son was like, all you do is give him credit. It's documented. If you, for the last 20 years, any interview I've done talking about Dame, I've never dissed Dame. I always praise Dame. I always say thank you. I always tell people how much he helped me get out of a bad situation into a great situation, able to feed myself. And for me saying Honor Rutt was whack, this all snowballed into this. Is it times in between our relationship talking about Dame when I don't speak to him for a year or two? Yeah. Because, son, you grew up with Dame. You know sometimes it can be overwhelming. That don't mean I ain't love him. That don't mean I ain't his friend. That don't mean I ain't fuck with him. None of this. Every interview for the last 20 years, all I've done is giving this man props on how he's helped me. But when you keep pushing my buttons on the internet and I did nothing to you, and then not only don't come back on you on the internet, all I do is just don't pick the phone up. I'll be like, I'm just not picking the phone up. That's just that. And then you keep poking me, pause. And my side, I'm like, all right, what you want me to do? I be Cam. Now I gotta be Cam. And that's how we out here. So no, I don't feel bad. Because according to Dame, all he do is make $100 million companies. He'd say, yo, I sold Rockefeller for $100 million. Rockaway $100 million. I'll make another $100 million company. Why are we dwelling on this if that's all you do?
Where the money at? Where the money at, my nigga? Where it go? Where the real money go? Where the money go, Cam? I'm being honest with you. I want to know what nigga get $100 million. I know it's taxes and where the money at, nigga?
Well,
Larry, it's not fly to have money. It's fly to
I'm
spend
just trying to figure out where the money at. You get $100 million.
Learn what Dame said.
Well, listen, Larry, according to Dame, we not real men talk about other men's expenses.
Well, I want to talk about that. I'm sorry, Shin. I want to talk about that because you know, I noticed on that interview at the Breakfast Club, Daniel was talking about some other stuff, and Chatty Patty got up twice to go back to tap Daniel to say something about my wife and my family and her situation, which we didn't want out there. It was a private situation. Mm-hmm. So when nigga talk about shit about talking about Chatty Patties, You was a chatty patty and you got up and tapped that man on his shoulder and asked that man, hey, you want to go ahead and talk about that now? You want to talk about Larry's situation? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a chatty patty. That's what, if you listen close, Charlamagne the God said, look at you being a chatty patty. That's what the fuck he is, a chat. My gloves is off today, Killer. I'm sorry. I'm a little heated about that because I felt like that nigga violated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to. I was gonna get to all that, man.
My bad.
No. Yo, you gotta express yourself. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But go ahead, sir.
Would it be so bad if he was the chairman at Revolt? Because let me tell you something about people. I would say about 70-30 people believe that he's not, and there's 30% that believe that he is because they like, yo, he got the proof, he got the texts, he got the break it down, you know. And well, first answer, would it be so bad if he was the chair, if he was made the chairman at Revolt, and then second, break down the story because a lot of people don't know what to think.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, Dame is always gonna sound smart to a stupid nigga. That's just the way he's very highly educated, has a great vocabulary, knows how to talk shit, talks very well, over talks people. So to a nigga who ain't paying attention, he always gonna sound smart. And not a dumb nigga neither. Dave's smart in general, very smart guy. So let's do the first thing. Would it be bad if he's the chairman of Revolt? I don't give a fuck. No disrespect to Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. I license my show back here, Talk with Flea, to them. Down there, Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. So if he's the chairman of Revolt, or if he thinks he's the chairman of Revolt, I just think he's a man sitting in a chair. You see, at the end of the day, if you think that's like, to me, I don't care. It's not going to change my check. It's not going to change my deal. I don't work for Revolt, so you can never be my boss. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I never seen a nigga fighting to be somewhere where nobody wants him. Why are you fighting to get in the party when nobody in the party wants you there? So let's say you do become, and I'm not saying he is, let's say you do become the chairman of Revolt off of text messages. Secondly, so I'm just letting you know, text messages aren't contracts or confirmation. I'm just putting that out there so you know. It does hold up in court, just so you know, but it's not confirmation of anything. But let's just say you are. Now you're going to get in a building and nobody wants you there. So now what? You're the chairman. Nobody's going to do what you ask them to do. Nobody's going to follow protocol of whatever the chairman's supposed to do. You're going to try and come in there and bring content and whatever. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It has nothing to do with me. But my thing is this, and Dame's problem for the last 15 years is that him, and I get where he's coming from. He wants to be the talent because he feels the talent that he got over the years doesn't look out for him. So now he's like, I'm the talent. I'm Billy Pablo. I'm the rock and roll star. Now I got my own show, this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. And to be honest with you, Dame's talent is finding talent, not being the talent. That's his talent. Not being the talent, finding the talent. So that's why I be looking at it and they be like, yo, but people gotta realize this, when they be like, yo, shit is viral. Viral is not always a good thing. This nigga being viral for being a goofy, niggas be laughing at you, nigga. A-Town, no disrespect to A-Town, that's I like this car. He was viral all the time. A bunch of other niggas, Hammerhead, Sharkhead, them niggas, that era back then, they viral. Don't compare the word viral with cool. That's two totally different things. So as far as him being the chairman, I don't give a fuck. Like I said, you heard what the Revolt people said. So I'm not even arguing about that. That's first and foremost. So it doesn't matter to me if he isn't. I don't work for Revolt. But the one thing I would say is, how the chairman, you the chairman, and everybody in the building got more money than you. So you just want the title boss. The janitor, the secretaries, everybody in the cubicles, programming, marketing. What you want? You want to ask them for lunch money? You are the brokest boss ever. But you're not even the boss. But I'm just saying, how you the boss and you can't get to work? You ain't got no money to get to work. Congratulations. Second part of the question was what, son?
You answered the second part.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Yeah. He said a story, and one thing I always admired about Dame, he's against cooperators and snitches. And I always admire how he stood on that. He told a story, maybe you might want to clear it up. I mean, I know about it already, but maybe you might want to clear it up. He told a story about you and Big L in a car going to get some work, and you started crying and talking about signing in the PC. And please explain that, because it's on the Art of Dialogue, so that means it's everywhere, because he's been that nigga's been doing this thing, and every interview he has is like, ooh, out of here. So explain that.
Yeah, first of all, Art of Dialogue, I'm gonna be honest with you, I spoke to him today, and he does do great work, and his content is good. But you're gonna have to start sending me a check, my nigga. I'm on your show my name on your show 3-4 times a week, whether it's Dame or not Dame. We gonna have to work something out if we keep using my name, my nigga. Now, I like your work, I like what you're doing, but goddamn, my name been on your show for 3-4 months straight. Goddamn, my nigga. Find some niggas that don't know me, nigga. Start talking to some other niggas that don't know me, because it don't even just be Dame. But first and foremost, I'll say this, man. When I heard that story, I was like, yo, this nigga's a blatant liar. I didn't know this. Blatant liar. That never happened. That's totally a lie. And I'm gonna give you a little history on Dame and Big L first and foremost. But I'll say this. Even if Dame thought that, and Big L been dead for 26 years, you don't think that story would have came out somewhere? You don't think even Dame would have made a little joke with me one time, like, yo, remember that time you started crying, Kim, when so-and-so, when we was in? So today, or whatever day, that's when the story comes out. Come on, Dame. Like, bro, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. And then what you do when you tell these bullshit lies is you implicate a nigga who dead so that they can confirm your story. So first of all, it's a straight lie. Now let me give you a little bit of history on Big L, Dame, and Lenox Avenue from 139th to 142nd Street. Big L didn't really fuck with Dame like that. He ain't hate him or nothing like that. They just didn't fuck with each other. The way the demographic goes is this for people who don't live in Harlem. I'm from 140th and Lenox. On the weekends, I used to go to 110th and 1st, between 1st and FDR Drive, where my grandmother lived in 1199. And that's where I met Dame at, when I go see my grandma on the weekends. Then I found out he hung out on 142nd Street. That's the dynamic. That's first and foremost. Dame is from the east side, I'm from the west side, but my grandmother lived on the east side. So Big L's career wasn't doing great, and Dame and Rockefeller were kind of growing. But Big L was still a great lyricist, and niggas wanted to fuck with him. So Dame was like, yo, what's up? I can manage Big L, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. So I plugged him in with Big L, and I told Big L, I'm like, yo, my man Dame doing his thing, he may want to manage you. And I knew that Jay-Z potentially wanted to sign him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's all their relationship is. Me, Dame, and Big L never been no damn car together. We never rode to get no work. First of all, let me tell you something, man. What the fuck do it look like Big L, me, and Dame going to get some work, had some work in the car, any of that? It don't even, the hangout, the crew don't even sound right. Anybody that lived on 139th Street to 142nd Street during that time, know this don't even make no motherfucking sense. It sounds stupid. Secondly, Big L brother, Big Lee, and the other nigga who kind of, the big homies on my block, Reg, they didn't like Dame. Dame had a GS 300, black joint, and he had a white Camry. They used to let me drive when I was younger. And I would drive the Camry around and, this, that, and the third. So one day, Dame pulls up on 139th Street, and he's talking to me. And he pulls off. We talked about 5-10 minutes, because I knew I'd see him late. I had one of his cars. And Big Lee came up to me. He was like, yo, homeboy, that nigga came over here to see you, the Dame nigga? And I was like, yeah, that's my man, that's my nigga. He's like, yeah, I don't like him, man. And I was like, you don't like him?
Damn.
Straight like that. He's like, yeah, I don't like him. I don't really want to see him over here like that. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Because I could have did shit, you know. At that time, I was like, damn. All right, Dame, it ain't like Dame come over here anyway. And then Reg co-signed it another day, like, yo, what's up with the Dame nigga, man? Like, that's his car you driving? I was like, you talking about the Camry? I'm like, nah, I lied because I didn't want the niggas try to take the car from me. These was my niggas, but you couldn't trust these niggas. I could trust Reg a little more than Lee. Like, Reg was my man. But I'm not going to sit there and say that it was Dame Carr. These niggas killed a nigga. I ain't going to say the nigga name. They killed a nigga from 40th over a lease before when I was about 12, 13 years old. And I'm like, yo, these niggas killing niggas over a lease. And they grew up with the nigga. Hell no, I ain't letting niggas know this Dame car. So now they want to know what kind of cars Dame is driving, so on and so forth. So I'm like, yo, listen, man. I ain't even going to tell Dame to come over here anymore because it ain't like Dame could pull up on 40th or 39th Street and just walk in that park. Nobody could at that era. If you ain't know somebody or you was coming to see somebody during that time, late 80s, early 90s, even into the late 90s, you could not just pull up on 39th and sit in the park unless it was like a park jam or something going on a regular day. Nah, bro. You had to be a member just about. You really had to be a member. I'm talking about even if you lived in the neighborhood. You couldn't just be pulling up, chilling out in the park. You had to know somebody to come in there. That's just the way it was. So I wasn't worried about Dame coming back over there. But I knew Lee and them niggas didn't like Dame. And I was like, damn, man, I'm just not going to have Dame come over here no more. So if Dame was riding around, and Big L didn't really care for him either. They would have booked you, nigga, if we had bricks in the car or something like that. L would have made a call and you would have got booked. Straight like that. But the whole shit was just a lie. And I was more disappointed that you would pick Big L as opposed to one of your homeboys. And I ain't gonna name your homeboys, but you got a million homeboys. You could have been like, right, that happened, so-and-so, right, that happened, so-and-so. You picked a dead nigga to tell the story because you know it's nobody who can back what you're talking about besides me. And Big L was my man before he was your man. You sound stupid. And I'm disappointed. I'm ready to give you a lie detector test, nigga. Secondly, he talking about we never sold drugs together. We did. We did. I never said I sold drugs with you. I used to ride around with you when you was taking drugs to Brooklyn or other places or whatever. The one time that we was going to cook up some work, because I had a spot, shout out to my man Howie Long on 137th Street. He told me that I could put some work on his block. He had a little situation over there in the 90s. And we went to get some work, and we got to your crib, and we pulled the coffee pot out, about to cook it up, and your baby mom called, Boogie's mom. And she was like, yeah, I know you a drug dealer. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but Dame was just on her phone like, I've never sold drugs. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a drug dealer while he's packing the work up. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, yo, this bitch must have been following us. I'm like, what the fuck going on? He said, this bitch talking all this drug shit. And what he did was he called Mo from B Building. Shout out to the niggas in 1199. Called Mo or Kev. Either Mo or Kev, I believe it was Mo. To come grab the work that we was about to cook up in his crib because he thought his baby mother called the cops on him. So it never panned out. You know, you sit here and see him be praising Duke the guy like, yo, Duke's a soldier, Duke did this. I plugged him with Duke. They never talk about that. Me and Dame riding around, he got to work and he like want to put crackheads in the car, following the crackhead in the cab. And we following the crackhead, this, that, third. I'm like, yo, you know my man got a license. Duke was like 15, 16 with a license because you could get your license at 15 in South Carolina. And people know Duke.
Yes, you can.
Shout out to my man Duke the guy. So he like, your man got a license. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna plug you into him. So I plugged him into Duke. And Duke started driving around with the work, taking it to Brooklyn or wherever else it needed to go. And that's how their relationship built. And I was happy about that. I'm happy that Duke was getting some money and Dame found the nigga that he could trust, that he didn't have to keep putting fucking crackheads in cars and following them. So fast forward, when the labels start jumping off years and years later, and you know, I wasn't with Dame and with Rockefeller at the time, but I bump into Dame and I'd be like, yo, You should give Duke a job, man. That nigga put some pain in. That nigga, he ain't asked no questions. He just did what he had to do. You should get that nigga a job. That nigga was thorough. He said, well, Duke's a good soldier. I don't know if he's intelligent enough to work at the office or anything like that, but he definitely was a good soldier. He's one of them niggas, definitely official. Well, what about the job? The nigga, you throw shit in the trunk and he asks no questions, and you can't even see if he get enough for a job? You know, working in the office is one thing, being a soldier is a whole nother thing. All right, cool, my nigga. That's a fact. Ask Duke if you want. I know, and that's just a testament because they always talk about how he's thorough and you never wonder how they met each other. That's how they met each other. So back to the other shit now. Back, because niggas try to defame my character. When I be talking about being in these towns, in Chicago and Ohio, you ever see anybody dispute me? You ever see niggas be like, "Kid, we never seen you out here. You ain't no Ohio, the fuck you mean, nigga? You ain't wasn't no West Side." You ever see niggas dispute it? Or you see niggas co-sign it? Be like, nah, Cam was out here, nigga. Cam was out here, nigga. I remember when we did the Diplomat deal at Rockefeller. I was signed to Rockefeller as an artist, Cameron. But I've got to think about this. I already have my niggas together and they want to get the deal because we've been through turmoil. So I'm telling Dame, I got this Diplomat thing. We put mixtapes out on the street. I want to sign them as well. Dame said, look, Cam, you just got here and you need to get yourself together. We'll worry about them later. I said, no problem. I go down to Kevin Lyle's office, have a meeting with Kevin Lyle's, play the Diplomat album, tell him about Jim, Jewels, everybody else. Kev was in love with the project. He said, we can't do Jim now, but we'll do Jewels and the Diplomats. And Jim ended up going to college. Like Jim, one day somebody should ask Jim, like, what made you go to college? Because I never even asked, but it was Jim's idea to be like, y'all niggas ain't leaving me. I'm going to some record label and figure it out. So I never even asked him. We just ended up doing business with it, but Jim ended up going to college. So Diplomats and Jewels was at Def Jam, or was about to be at Def Jam. Kevin Lyle said, I want to do the deal for X amount of dollars. Cool, bet, we good. I go back and tell Dane, yo, I'm going to do this deal with Def Jam, the deal that you told me that I should wait on with Jewels and Diplomats. Yeah, Kevin's gonna give me the deal. What the fuck you mean Kevin Lyle's gonna give you the deal? Let's go down to his office now, Kev. I said, no, Dave, no. We worked the numbers out. The deal is done. No. Nah, fuck that, Kim. He only doing that to get me mad. What, you think he gonna offer up that much money just to make you mad? You don't think he believes in the talent of Diplomats or Jewels or whatever? Dane goes down there, starts screaming at Kevin Lyle, saying, you just did this deal to get Kim mad, yada, 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 yada. Kevin Lyle's just sitting there mad, calm, like, damn, I get paid a salary. I don't care if it goes through Rockefeller or Def Jam. I get the same check. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, well, it's going through Rockefeller. I said, damn, bro, you didn't want the fucking deal. Nah, Cam, you won't get the same money. This nigga know what he doing. Trying to piss me off. I bet. About 2 weeks passed. Money still ain't come in. I'm like, dang, bro, I had this situated. I need to bust some moves. Where that money at? Give me another week, Cam. Give me another week. Da-da-da-da. Another week passed. Still ain't get the money. Yo, dang, where that money at? Yo, can't wait up. I'm in his office. It's word to my mother. I said, Dame, I need to go buy my kilos and my pounds. I got to bust these fucking moves. Dame started looking up the ceiling. He's lying, y'all. He's lying. Cam is tapped in here. The whole building's wide. I don't give a fuck. Stop playing my money. I got to go bust some moves. I got to give him the highway, nigga. He's lying. He's lying. That's what he was doing in his office. That's what he was doing. I'm lying, Dame? That's a fact. When we shot the Old Boy video shoot, I just got back from Ohio. I had about $400,000 in cash on me. I wish we could get the behind the scenes to the video shoot of Old Boy. Whoever shot that video, please pull up the behind the scenes to that video. If you got the B-roll footage or whatever, Dame come to the video shoot. showing support. You know, it's all love or whatever. He get there, he said, yo, that's real money. I said, yeah. He said, yo, that's cash? Oh shit, I didn't see this much money in a while. He just started grabbing the cash, feeling it. Oh shit. Yo, you getting it like that? Yeah, I'm getting it like that. Yeah. Yo, wow, this is crazy. And I'm not saying Dame didn't have money, because Dame had money. He just ain't see cash in a long time. Not that much. He ain't see that much cash. Because, you know, when he get there, we just getting back in like a day or two ago. Zeke come back with the bread. So we not only using it for video money, we got the counters counting up, tallying up. Dame just is just, yo, crying to the police. Nigga, my resume speak for itself. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? Somebody find the B-roll footage, please, from that video. And say I'm lying about that too, nigga. That was all street money, nigga. It wasn't no rap money, wasn't no none of that, nigga. That was straight off our 80 money, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, my nigga? So yeah, when he say shit like that, I'm just really disappointed. And to use somebody who passed away in that context, because nobody could debate it, it's kind of crazy, man. It's wild. Because it's a bunch of niggas that live over there, or that's from over there that may not live over there no more, they'd be like, yo, this nigga bugging, man. This nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. Because they know you could never pull up the 39th Street. You could never pull up the 40th Street without permission. You just couldn't. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm not even acting like I'm the one of the niggas that made it like that. I just lived there. But them niggas, Big Lee, Reg, and a few other niggas that I won't name who's still around, they had it like that. You just couldn't come over there and be like, yo, I want to play basketball. No, you couldn't do it. You had to go on 45th Street. You just couldn't come in there and do what you wanted to do unless you was affiliated.
Is this the... I kind of noticed something when you tell stories about Dame, before I go on to the next question. Your friends and associates didn't really take a liking to him. You don't find that kind of strange? A lot of people used to be like, when you mention it, you'd be like, yeah, he ain't fuck with Dame.
Because
you never found
Dame is an acquired taste, pause. Like Dame ain't for everybody. And the thing about for Dame for me was this, is that I thought that Dame was a visionary. I thought he always thought outside the box. And I thought that a lot of niggas in the neighborhood didn't see past tomorrow. I seen Dame seeing past tomorrow. You know, a lot of niggas like, I'm gonna sell drugs, I'm gonna sell drugs, I'm gonna sell drugs. But we see where that's leading to. We ain't seen no, outside of Frank Mathis, I don't know who got away with it forever. So Dame always had visions of doing other things. Not only that, he had a rap group, Original Flavor. Original Flavor was on Video Music Box. You're like, oh shit, this nigga got a rap group on Video Music Box. I used to play basketball. He'd be like, Cam, when you get out of college, I'm gonna be into that sports agency shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. And I believe that, you know, I'm not talking about Mace, because Mace is a visionary as well. But I'm just saying, a lot of people, you have to have an outside the box personality. And when you grew up in Harlem at that time, his personality may not been for everyone. So maybe that's why. But I understood where he was trying to go. So that's why I always thought, yo, he gonna make it one day, because he's not thinking, you got 100 niggas thinking about this, and you may have 2 or 3 niggas thinking about this. If you're doing 100 niggas doing the same shit, the 2 or 3 niggas who thinking out the box are probably, you know, come up and do other things. You know what I'm saying? So that was my reason on fucking with him. Besides that, he's funny, he was super cool, everything else, but I thought he was a visionary when other niggas didn't, and that may have rubbed other people the wrong way.
How do you feel right now? Is this the point of no return? Or you just, because I know both of y'all are stubborn. I do know that about both of y'all. And, you know, I don't think forgiving, it's really not that serious to me, but maybe he may take it another way. But is it like, you know, like a what's up, nigga, down the line, do you think? Or is there a point of no return? Because I heard Memphis Bleak said, like, I guess what he said about Jay, there's never no going back on that one. And, you know, what he said about him was kind of crazy. But anyway, true or false. I'm asking you. And I'm not asking for right now. I'm asking for what you think about later. Because that is your boy since you was little. So what you think about that?
Now I'm at the point of no return. I'm at that point because this was totally unnecessary. For me, it was totally unnecessary, and the way it went about for me, it didn't have to be public. It didn't have to be all this. All I said, I hate repeating how this started. I didn't pick the phone up. All I did was not pick the phone up, and you keep going on the internet looking for internet sympathy, like he's doing now. He's carrying on. Dame, I'm the one who set up Dame Instagram. I'm really sorry I set up the Instagram. It's two things I'm sorry I did for Dame. Set up his Instagram, which he probably would have caught on later in life, and have him start smoking weed. Since he started smoking weed, he's not the same person. He's a bugger.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that. Me and Blood.
Oh, shit. Come on, Larry. Let's be mad together.
Yeah.
I thought Biggie did that.
Yeah.
I thought he was smoking with Biggie.
Nah, to be honest with you, Dame, when I was doing my deal with entertainment, or about to do the deal, you know, we would talk from time to time, and he'd be like, yo, be careful with them niggas. They smoke too much. He said, they good businessmen, but them niggas smoke a lot, talking about Biggie and Un and all that. And, you know, he was smoking with me and Bloodshed from time to time, but then he just started becoming a full-time smoker. And it was like, whatever, you know, I smoke a lot, so it wasn't no big deal to me. But I'm a functional. I've been smoking since I was 16, longer than that, 15, 16, playing basketball, doing everything else. It don't affect me the same way I see it affects him, to where he needs it, like fiending. I seen him one night, and I'm like, when we was staying in Malibu, and that nigga was just smoking away. I'm like, I don't know if he's stressed or whatever, but he really needs the weed. But
So
yeah,
you
man.
felt in this whole...
No, I'm saying, but yeah, you gotta take the blame for that.
That's what I was about to say. You just said there's no point of return, so there's really no need of me asking you. You know, you felt you did nothing wrong in this whole situation, right?
Absolutely not, because it isn't like me and Dame haven't had disputes before. We've had disputes. It's been times. In one of the interviews, he'd be like, I know Cam, he'll duck me for 3-4 years. It ain't been 3-4 years, but you know, I'll take a few months off, maybe a year or two from Dame, and just not speak to him. But nobody ever knew that. Nobody ever knew that. When me and Dame, not saying our relationship been perfect from beginning to end, when we got problems, you never heard no problems from me, because all I did was just not pick the phone up. I didn't run to the internet. But he kept going on and on and on. And then on top of that, all I said was, I bet, you want to talk about honor up, I didn't support it? I said, all right, cool, honor up, I don't like it. Then this whole avalanche came of trying to defame my character, trying to diss me, everything else. I would have been cool, it would have been cool for me if he would have been like, nigga, all your movies is whack. Nigga, even some of the shit he said, nigga, you ain't have no hit record since you stopped fucking with me, which is not true. But anyway, I would have been cool with that. You know what this shit got personal for me? Is when he was like, Cam ain't confrontational, this, that, third. So-and-so punched him in his face. I'm like, damn, you too? That's what you want? Niggas bring up all this shit with me. Niggas talk about my victories. They talk about 2-3 L's I took in my life. And I don't got no problem with that. That's cool. It come with the game. I'm straight with that. Because it's a bunch of ass whoopings I done gave out on several different occasions. I don't got no problem with that. But for it to come from Dame, oh, you got some deep hate pores inside that you've been wanting to spew out. And when he said that, I knew it was personal. And that's when I said, all right, let's do personal.
Is this the last time, no matter what he says, no matter what diss records come out? Because I see you say you got a diss record coming out. Is this the end? You're not addressing this no more? Or that's just how you feeling today?
You never know me. I might say something slick here and there, but all this back and forth, I ain't doing it past this show. I really got other shit to do. And to be totally honest with you, it's embarrassing to me and to people that I'm working with outside of you guys here. I have other businesses going on, and they'll be like, Ken, what the fuck is this about? What's happening? And I'll be like, no, this shit ain't about nothing, But this is part of the reason, pardon me, this is part of the reason why business deals don't get done with this nigga and other elements, because they don't want to deal with this kind of behavior. When you hot and you on top and you got shit popping and you got motion, they'll deal with this behavior. Man, fuck it, we gotta take a chance with it. We'll take a chance with it. But when you not, they be like, man, stay away from them niggas. Them niggas is bugging. Them niggas, we ain't got time for that, man. We ain't cutting them niggas no 10, 20, $30 million check, depending on what line of business you in. Some niggas is with ignorant shit. Other people who's making hundreds of millions of dollars aren't. And I'm on a path to do shit like that, and this is backtracking what I'm doing. And it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. I don't mind doing this shit. You know me better than anybody. This shit fun. I do this in my sleep. Nigga, that's why I even feel bad with Dame doing this. You're not gonna win on the internet. But what I look like battling you on the internet? It's too easy. I've been doing this too long. I'm cruel and calculating. I mean, I am. Sin, you always say this to me. I don't know how to play. Pause. I don't. Whatever.
For real.
I don't. You say can't fuck you. I say your mother was on crack. I sold her 2 dimes and then remind niggas and get proof that I did. That's what I do. That's what I do. I don't know how to play. I don't got no in between. Pause. I'm from a cruel area of the world, and that's how we play. That's just that.
So this is it for the week.
I hope it's. Listen, I tell you a lot of times.
You know he gonna have something to say.
I know.
That.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is I don't think he gonna stop, because this is the most motion he had in I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it. How much this is the most motion he had. I don't think he gonna stop. I think he going for another 3 months with this. You gotta think about this, right? Think about it. He probably said something slick about Jay-Z 2 months ago, maybe. I'm just guessing, I don't know. Jay hasn't spoken to him in 10 years. He's still talking about Jay. He'll still say something slick about Biggs. These niggas don't say nothing to them. He don't even respond. He's still talking about him. Yo, grown men shouldn't talk about other grown men. Well, stop talking about these niggas. They not even responding to you. I talked about on the last episode, right? They had a Zoom call about, because Jay-Z and Biggs wanted to buy the Dame's third of Rockefeller from him for $1.5 million. He didn't want to sell it to him, but they had a Zoom call about it. Jay and Biggs and the lawyers and everybody was on the Zoom call. And Dame was trying to talk to them like, yo, y'all gonna let the lawyers do this to you? Yo, come on, nigga, da-da-da. And Jay and Biggs was like this. Yo, y'all don't hear me talking to you? I'm trying.
Oh, man.
Yo, tell the nigga I'm not gonna do you want the 1.5. Oh, you gotta tell the nigga to tell. So no, I know it's not gonna stop. But I gotta take that approach to it because it becomes redundant and it's stupid. How much, that's what I'm saying, it starts to become to the lies where you can only say so much about each other till you start making shit up.
Yeah. Well, one thing before we stop and move on for now, one thing he said when he was saying that you're using your platform to tear black men down. I wanted to get to something because he said you're interviewing strippers and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you think Puff is mad at you or could be mad at you?
He could be. I hope he is. Listen, I ain't got no problem with Puff. It was news, it was a hot topic. But let me tell you something, man. I'm rooting for Puff.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really believe it's a travesty that he's still in jail now. I don't know what goes on in the...
It's ridiculous.
I don't know what's going on in the United States court system, but this man basically has been found innocent of all the more charges and been found guilty of hiring prostitutes and still in jail. I don't know how many niggas is doing a year and some change over hiring prostitution. I don't know the law, but I think it's crazy. Because I know it's niggas out there buying prostitutes tonight, for a fact. So I'm rooting for Puff. If he is mad at me, I hope he's not, man. Like I said, I never had no bad relationship with Puff. I didn't, I can't speak like we best friends or hung out a bunch of times. But anytime we was in the same room or at the same place, it was been nothing but love and respect. And like I said, I'm wishing he gets home because the shit that he's in jail for right now is kind of ridiculous. But he could be mad, but I hope he isn't because, I was just covering the topics and I thought it was crazy at the time, just the topics that was going on. But when same thing like you got O.J. Simpson on our show and niggas be like, how you gonna have O.J.? Because he's found innocent, nigga. He may be guilty in public opinion in the streets, but in your white judicial system, he has been found innocent. And so therefore, when he's on it is what it is, we gonna treat him as such. That's that.
Yeah, but where's the money, my nigga? Because I was on set with this nigga.
Hold on, like Dave's money?
Yeah, where the money at? Because I was on set with him. I was on set with him when we was doing our movie.
Now hold on. Just because the viewer may not understand your anger, so we have to present to the viewer why you're upset. So I don't know if you guys been noticing in Dave's interviews, he always mentioning Larry. Yeah, fuck Larry. Larry's suing me. Larry's doing this, which Larry isn't suing him. And Kim is with Larry. And I told the nigga, don't be with Larry. And now he's still with him. So just giving you some context to who Larry is, who was just talking about my man Larry. Larry had a grow out here in Las Vegas. And he was trying to get his grow off the ground. And what he would do is hook up with entertainers and pay them to promote his grow. Larry met Noriega. Shout out to Nori, Nori introduced Dame to Larry. What Larry was doing was giving Dame Dash $5,000, was it $5,000?
$5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month to promote weed on his page. He definitely needed it this time. Not only Larry did that, when Dame's son wasn't living with Dame and was staying in Vegas, Larry let Dame's son live with him for 2.5 years. So first of all, for me, and morals and integrity and all this bullshit he be talking about, if my son lived with you and you and your wife took care of him for 2 years, I can never have a problem with you. His problem is, can't be with that nigga, this, that, and the third. And Dame makes all these fake narratives up. When this man, besides being your lifeline and paying you every month, watch your son. You should never have a problem with a nigga who watched your grown-ass son when you could. You ain't let Boogie live with you. And I know you like, yeah, Boogie's a man. He ain't want to live. Nah, he wasn't. And I'm not trying to disrespect him, Boogie. But he lived with Larry and Maribel. And what Dame did the other day is, this is kind of where I lost kind of all respect for Dame, is that Larry's going through a personal situation with his family right now. And I went through that situation with my mother 2 years ago. My mother, I sat there and watched my mother die in a month. My mother was fine January 7th, went to the hospital January 9th, died February 9th. And I watched that whole slow process for a month. And shout out to Maribel, Larry's wife, but she's a fighter. She's not going through the same scenario that my mom went through. But they're dealing with something similar. And Dame gets on the Breakfast Club, and no matter what your problem is, you gonna sit there and say, yo, you need to go be with your dying wife. What? What, nigga? I can imagine he said some shit like that to me when mama, like, what? Mad disrespectful. Don't care about what he's going through, not knowing what his son or daughter, anything going through, not knowing that what like I said, I don't even want to talk about that shit because there's so much you don't know that you don't need to know. But for you to put that on the radio because this man hangs out with me, because you feel me and Larry shouldn't be speaking, for you to sit on the radio and say, go be with your dying wife, that was all the way out of bounds. So, but for me, I can't really fuck with a nigga like that. I just can't, because you're willing to say and do anything because you're angry. That's very disrespectful. And I won't stoop to your level. I'm just not going to stoop to that level. But yeah, Larry, I'm sorry, because you like where the money at. But I just want to get some context why you mad.
I was upset because there was a lot of stuff that went on when I was around Damon. And I'm not gonna sit up here in front act like we wasn't cool and this and that. There was some really good times. But then I realized I started to see certain things. When you say that there's an acquired taste, pause. I totally understand that. Dame is very disrespectful, condescending, popping off, and I'm not going to tolerate that type of disrespect. There's a lot of things I swept in the rug because I'm like, no, I'm not worried about it. But being on the set, I'm thinking all this money's there, and then people will come up and try to get paid, and he would have to send him over to me and Mike. Mike is the other guy that was on the film with
So
me.
just so you understand what Larry's talking about, Dame, Larry, and Mike was supposed to do a movie together. Larry put up 50, Dave was supposed to put up 50, and Mike was supposed to put up 50. The movie didn't pan out, and that's kind of where their relationship fell out. So when you're talking about being on set, I'm just letting the audience
the guy,
understand.
listen, he owed $11,000 to these people, and bro, when I tell you couldn't pay it. I mean, he didn't pay it. Me and Mike ended up having to come back to pay it. You know what I'm saying? So it was sad. It was really sad because I don't know, man. I felt bad for him in a roundabout way. And then now to see him get on the Breakfast Club and say that I'm the reason why he got sued, I have nothing to do with why he got sued. I have absolutely nothing. Then he's talking about I sued him. I'm like, bro, where the paperwork at? What do you talk? Why would I sue you? There's nothing to sue. There's honestly nothing to sue. You know what I'm saying?
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. Listen, I'm a gambler. I understood. I've had businesses make it, businesses not make it. $50,000. All right, cool. I lost it. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? It was my fault. It was a learning lesson, at that particular time. But to get on the Breakfast Club and to say that I'm unintelligent when when you don't pay your taxes, when you don't have 3/4 of the shit that I have, not even close. And I'm being all that that nigga stuck in 1995 is the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have 3/4 of what I got. All these homes you talking about you got, you was renting that shit. And I ain't knocking nobody who rent either. But don't go around telling everybody you got homes and cribs everywhere and you doing this and you doing that. And it's not even close. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta say this one other thing. What I realized with you is this. Everything that I've seen you do, that's what he says he does. But he doesn't. And that's just my observation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything that you talk about, we talk about being honorable. I've been with you and there's been situations where I've sit there and ask you, yo, why'd you do that? I wanted to see it when I first was around you. Like, I wanted to say, okay, let's see what he's gonna do. And you did the honorable thing. Whereas when I was around him, it was never the honorable thing. And I'll give you one even more unhonorable thing that he did. When we talked about Boogie last week, Boogie got a check. Boogie got the Zelle sent to him. Boogie didn't send it back. I know Boogie well enough to know that Boogie didn't make that call. So where's the honor, my nigga? You keep talking about honor.
And let's address that real quick. So, nigga going around talking about I tried to book his son and all this other stuff.
I tried to book him.
Yeah, but listen, I just wanted to say this because I didn't even feed into that. That's why I didn't even respond. If you want to know the truth, Dame, this is what happened. Your son, a few weeks ago, called Larry asking for money. He needed money. Not last month, not last year, not a couple years ago. A few weeks ago, he needed money. Larry works on this show. And now, don't get me wrong, this could have been bad timing. We can acknowledge that. But he said, yo, you want to come on the show? We'll pay for it. He said, yeah, I'll come on the show. So Larry called me and said, yo, Boogie said he want to come on the show. I said, all right, cool. I wasn't even going to get into it with Dame. I text Boogie. I have the text messages. I said, Boogie, what do you want to talk about? My movies and my music. I said, all right, bet, no problem. Next thing is, yo, Cam, you tried to book my son. No, your son was broke. Hit Larry for some bread. Larry thought it'd be cool for you to come on the show. Like I said, could have been bad timing, but no, I ain't gonna try and dish your son and book yo, my nigga. Like Larry said, your son, I take it as your son robbed niggas. You needed money. You said you wanted to come on the show. We sent you some bread to come. We wasn't going to talk about your pops, and even if we was, you could have been like, we ain't talking about him, but I wouldn't do that. But yeah, you booked me actually. You took our bread, but I don't even want it because y'all know you need it. The family needs it. Nah, I have no problem with Boogie whatsoever. But yeah, thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. But yeah, son, go ahead. What's the important thing you got to ask me?
That's what I was thinking. Like, I hope Boogie ain't think that niggas was gonna sit up here and try to get him to talk bad about Dame. That would be the stupidest shit in the world. Like, everybody knows the respect that Boogie always had for Dame. That's his fucking father. So I don't know where them bad thoughts came from. Like that, I just thought that was crazy.
That's why I didn't even address it, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right, you didn't make a comment about it, and we all saw it. And just to let you know, he's a cool nigga, man. But he was just out of line. What happened? Explain the whole Adrian Broner thing.
So Adrian Broner, like I said, I've known Adrian Broner for a while. I actually consider him a friend. I have no problem with Adrian Broner. I know, not a friend where you be like, y'all gonna get some bitches, let's get some money together. A nigga, when we see each other, we got respect for each other, we talk, and we know some mutual people in Cincinnati. With that being said, AB was walking through the hotel, and I'm like, yo, get AB, tell him to come on the show. I got a couple dollars for him. AB came in, he sat down, and I seen he was drunk, but the last few times I seen AB, he was drunk. So I didn't think nothing of it. And he just went and stopped flirting with Stat. It's part of the show that we actually edited out, where I stopped the show and I'd be like, yo, you gotta chill, bro. It's kind of getting out of hand. It's getting to a level where it's being uncomfortable. He like, oh, all right, Cam, nah, it's no, I got you. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's getting weird. You gotta kind of stop it. And he said, cool. So I'll be like, let's roll again. Now, when you tell me cool when we're not rolling, so when we start rolling, you just ignore what I said and start flirting with Stat again. So when niggas was like, yo, how you say you love him and this, that, and the third, then you kick him out. The scenario is this simple for me. You can have a friend that you fuck with like that, and you invite him into your house, and you like, oh, this nigga, I didn't know he was this drunk. And you got a little sister that's 23 years old. Remember, pardon me, she just turned 24 a month or two ago. A 24-year-old sister that your 38, 39-year-old friend keeps flirting with and keeps flirting with and keeps flirting with when you keep asking him to stop. And you like, yo, I asked you several times, like on the show it may have been 2 or 3 times, but it's actually more like 7, 8 times. And so I asked him to leave. And that's why I asked him to leave, because a lot of people say Stat was laughing too much. Nah, she had nervous energy, because what wasn't on camera, she gave me a look, and that's when I knew. I was like, nah, now you gotta go, because she's uncomfortable. And I'm not gonna let Stat feel uncomfortable in her house. I consider the Is What It Is set her house. I wouldn't let her feel uncomfortable outside the house. I'm just not gonna let you disrespect her, and we've asked you several times. The only problem that I had was my frustration when he was walking out and we put him out. I came back to the microphone and I said some things that shouldn't have been on the air. That was a poor edit. It shouldn't have made it. Or I should have communicated better with the producers. It was one of those situations where you sit down and you think you're talking to yourself or you're talking to the people in the room, and it ended up being aired. I didn't mean for what I said about AB to be aired, but that's one of them situations where you're like, fucking, not talking about AB, but you be like, can't fuck with this nigga. You say that about niggas that you cooler with than me and AB is cooler with. So that what I said was unacceptable for it to be on air, because what I am doing is rooting for AB as far as getting better, as far as giving himself one last chance to be a boxer, as far as being in shape and saying, this was one of the few niggas that understood it. One of the few niggas that knew how to box and talk. Usually you have a boxer who's good at boxing but don't know how to talk. You usually got a nigga who know how to talk but he can't fight worth shit. I think AB had the total package when he's in shape 100%. So what I said, I don't think that should have been aired, and that's the only thing that I apologize about, because I don't want to think that I'm kicking a man when he's down. And like I said, I consider him a friend and we have mutual friends. But I can't let you come in the crib and disrespect my sister neither.
I just think, you know, y'all cool. people got to stop blowing shit out of proportion. The world is fucking sensitive now. You can't say shit. When I talk to my niggas like that when they fuck up, me and Zeke used to always argue. I used to argue, whino motherfucker when he get drunk. So, I just think people blew that shit out of proportion with the unedited version, which you saw, which you just apologized for. And I don't think people should take it like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure AB, he a funny nigga, so I'm sure he ain't take it like that. You know
My thing about it is this, and you're 100% right, but when you got a smartphone, it's like having an asshole. Pause. Everybody got a fucking opinion, and you never gonna make everybody happy. I don't care who it is. You're never gonna make everybody happy. And I use this analogy because we're talking about a boxer. We just seen Canelo fight Terrence Crawford. The judges had it 115, 113. So you only thought Bud won by 2 rounds? That's crazy, bro. How do you think that Canelo, only lost by 2 rounds? That's crazy. You sit there and, being boxing, you sat there with Floyd for Canelo. One judge had Canelo win the fight. You just can't. Nigga might just killed that nigga that night. Well, I was supposed to just shot him in the head. Of course, I'm exaggerating. But yo, my nigga, you just can't please everybody. I don't know what else you want nigga to do. But it is what it is. Hope baby you get better.
Yeah. I want to ask you something about some music.
Good.
You ever did a song with somebody or a feature with somebody who verse was so crazy you had to rewrite yours?
Nah. I'm like that.
All right.
Look, man, listen. Who's your favorite rapper?
Big.
Who's your he's probably one of my favorite. Ghostface.
Arizona Raw, baby.
Yeah, Big. Big's not a bad choice. Who's your favorite living rapper? Give me top 3. Give me this night. Give me your top 3 real quick.
I would say Nas, maybe Jay. One right. Oh, Prodigy. Oh, he's not. My bad, Prodigy. My bad. I like Drake.
I like Drake too. So you got Hove, Nas 1 and Hove 2, and Drake 3. That's your order?
No, not in no, not in no order.
What's your order?
I got Jay, Nas, Drake.
So Jay's first, Nas second, then Drake.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Me and Jay went at it in the studio. I ain't write nothing over.
You asked me all this. I'm thinking, you see what I'm saying about this? No.
I ain't write
I'm
nothing
thinking
over.
we going somewhere else.
I knew.
I ain't even know why you think about that, yo.
Yeah, go
I
listen to
what you was doing.
Go listen to this song. You got Jay fans, and Jay's probably one of my favorite. Look, I like Jay, Nas, and Ghostface is probably my 3 favorite living. But I did the damn thing. Jay did the damn thing. Jay didn't write his rhymes down. I wrote I'm better with my penmanship, my rapping. When I write, Jay didn't write nothing down. But you got niggas who be like, yo, come on, Jay killed niggas. Jay did his thing, but I did my thing. Go listen to it. Did the damn thing, baby. So your favorite rapper, I wouldn't write my verse over for. Why would I write my verse over for somebody else?
I wasn't even thinking. My bad. Kiss. I take Drake off that. Put Kiss on there.
Okay. Shout to Kiss too.
Yeah.
But he ain't your favorite. And shout to Kiss. He's one of my favorites. So I'm just saying, your favorite rapper. We was sparring.
Yeah.
Shout to Jay killed it though. He definitely killed it.
Yeah, he already said he don't write checks on the song. Man, that write checks with the hand that don't write.
I put you under the boss, man. You didn't even know what it meant.
Yeah, you did.
I put you under the boss.
You ever patched up on a beat that you later heard that was successful that you didn't want? Because I know about the H to the Izzo beat, but was there ever some beats?
I didn't pass up on that.
Because a lot of people.
I didn't pass up on that beat. It was taken
No,
away
I know
from
you
me.
didn't. God damn, man. So you ain't gonna let that go, huh?
Yeah, I let it go. Nigga, I done did music with Kanye and Jay-Z after that. So, yeah, I let it go. But I just don't want to act like I passed up on it.
But you ever had a beat and didn't, rap on the beat, and then later on found out somebody else did and it was a success?
Not off the top of my head, but I know it's happened. I know it's happened. I just can't think of one off the top of my head.
All right, well, what about Mini Men beat? The 50 Cent beat. Didn't you get that first? Because Digga, Six Figure Digga did that beat. You got that first, didn't you?
This is what happened, man. And that's a great question. I didn't pass up on that beat, and when I see niggas posting it, and I actually see him posting, just not correcting the story. For me, that's why I be like, yo, this is why I say to myself with certain situations and certain people, I just mind my business. But since you're asking, I never passed up on that beat, and shout out to everybody who's doing their thing, because I don't want to say to come across wrong, but he played that beat for us, the Many Men beat, in his house in Teaneck, New Jersey. And Digga was my man. I still wish him the best for him, and I see what he's doing. Congratulations on what he's doing. I've known him longer than probably anybody. I know him since, besides my man Toad, but since 5th grade, and he was always the music person, the visionary of music, making beats, electric boogieing, graffiti, and everything else. So, one day maybe we'll talk about it, or maybe we won't, if we get to it. But this to that particular scenario. When he played that beat for me, Jim, and Jewels, Jim was still in the process of getting to be a great rapper. It was early. Jim was still learning. He knew what he was following the format, but he was finding his lane. Jewels, when I met Jewels, he was already ready. He was really good. Really good. Knew how to do hooks, everything else. Really good. But that day we recorded Many Men at his house. I don't even think I had a good day in the studio that day. I think it's high, whatever the case may be, whatever. So we didn't have a deal for Diplomats. We didn't have, we just in between albums trying to figure out if I'm gonna go to Rockefeller, if I'm staying with Epic, finishing SDE, whatever the case may be. I just know it wasn't the best time musically in life for me, and trying to help niggas get on. So we recorded in his house, and it didn't turn out that well. And I didn't ever hear the beat again until 50 Cent had the beat. It isn't like Digga came to my session and played that beat like, yo, don't forget about this beat, don't forget about that beat, yada, 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 yada. And I didn't pass on it. It's just that day we recorded it, it didn't turn out good. And I'm not sure, because, it might be fuzzy in my brain. I don't know where we were at in between albums. I don't know if he was recording SDE. I don't know if he was trying to get off the album, get off of Epic and go to Rockefeller. But the only time I ever heard that beat, out of millions of beats I heard from Digga, I think we did some great work together. Absolutely. Digga was my man. When I did the interview with Un even said it. I was on there like, yeah, Cam, you came in here demanding your man Digga get 7,500 a beat. Where has he ever had a placement at that you demanding he gets 7,500 a beat? That's my man, nigga. He nice. This the producer I want to work with. And so I never heard the beat outside of that, because Digga always had beats. So I never heard the Many Men beat outside of his house. So when niggas like Cam passed on it, Nas passed on it, I didn't pass on it. We recorded it, and it just didn't turn out that good that night. And I don't think that Digga, and like I said, no slight to Digga, that's my bro. We haven't spoken in a while. We may not be on the same page, but I'm definitely rooting for everybody. That's one thing about me. And I'm not just talking about Digga or anybody else. If I don't work with you, that don't mean I ain't rooting for you. That just means I'm not working for you, with you. And that's not Digga. I'm talking about rappers, anybody else. A lot of people be like, Cam won't do a song with me, he ain't fuck with me. I'm just got other shit to do, and music isn't the number one priority for me. That don't mean I ain't rooting for you. That don't mean I don't want you to go to the top. That don't mean that I'm hating on you. So, but what I was about to say was this, that I never heard the beat again, and then I see shit with like Cam passed on his beat, Nas passed on his beat, this, that, and the third, and I'm like, that's not true. I think Digger, at the time, you know, we was all getting out of college. He was building a family, as well as I was as well at the time, and I don't think he seen the vision of the Diplomats. But Digger was smart. Digger's the one told nigga in 98, maybe 99 that it ain't gonna be no more CDs, it ain't gonna be no more records, everything gonna be digital. And niggas couldn't even, he's like, you sure? But we believed him because, you know, he's educated and smart and he was really into music. And we was like, damn. But Digger, I remember, I was like, yo, we went and got Diplomat tattoos. And I was like, yo, Digger, when you gonna get your Diplomat tattoo? And he said, when we get some real artists. And it was Jim and Jewels that he was working with. And I was like, guess he doesn't like these guys. That's why when I be seeing them together, I'm like, look at the guys hooking up, man. That's what's up. That's dope. Because you said you wasn't getting the Diplomat tattoo until we got some real artists, and these was the niggas that I was fucking with. Then what he did was, which everybody tries to do, but the Diplomats didn't even take off. He started Six Figure Entertainment. And I remember Mace was like, him and Mace always argued because Mace used to say he didn't get his vocals right or anything else. He always didn't mix it right, whatever. And Mace was like, Cam, we can't fuck with Digger like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, come on. He's like, his expectations is too low for me. He named his company Six Figures. I can't work like that. I'm trying to get 10 figures, bro. I said, Mace, you gotta stop this shit. He said, I'm just saying. I know we ain't got 5 figures right now, but I can't do it. I said, Mace, if you don't want to fuck with the nigga, just say you don't want to fuck with the nigga. To make this whole scenario up, and not it isn't made up. This is how Mace really felt. But yeah, I can, you know, I'm sorry I got to that whole story, but to make a long story short, I'm pretty sure there was a beat that I missed out on that turned into a hit, but that wasn't one of them. The song we did just wasn't that good at that day, according to Digger. But today he says he has copies of it and he's selling it. So, you know, nostalgia turned like fine wine. It turned out better in the future for him.
I wish you would clear up more things, like, and just stop letting things drag on for years. Like that's a problem I have. Maybe sometimes you should clear up some shit, my nigga. You let that shit drag on, because you just said, the way you said it, I did not pass up on that beat. I know that. And it was more about that you was mad that 50 turned it into what he turned it to.
That I was mad?
You never, yeah, you've heard that you was mad that
I didn't hear that.
You didn't get the beat.
No, I wasn't. I never heard that. I heard that I passed on the beat, but why would I be mad, my nigga? I'm not mad. The thing about it is, and you know what? I just don't be giving a fuck. Remember when you told me I was crazy? I was bugging at first, right? But I realized that I am crazy. You know, when it be stories like that, I don't be giving a fuck because I don't care what people be thinking. And look, it turned out to a time like this where you get to ask me a question like that, and I do get to clear it up. But if niggas want to run around these stories and make shit up, not talking about Digger anyway, just people in general about me, cool. Me and you known each other over 30 years, and we probably been cool the last 10, 15 years. And you always come up to me with some damn story about some rumor in the street that you heard about me, and then I clear it up and get the confirmation I'm talking about. And you be like, why these niggas lied on you, Ken? I'll be like, that's the niggas you be with. Word. I don't know. We appreciate you niggas.